Say what you want about the Palmetto State Armory, but they probably have done more for gun rights advocacy than the NRA has in the last 10 years. If y'all haven't heard yet, PSA announced that they filed a lawsuit on the 4th of July to end the NFA once and for all. For those of you who don't know, the NFA was enacted in 1934, and it essentially imposed a tax on certain firearms items that Congress felt were super duper scary, such as suppressors, SBRs, etc. And they did this thinking that it would in any way curtail the illegal movements of these scary devices by imposing a $200 tax and a registration process. Because, you know, me as an early 1900s gangster would be really worried about getting a tax stamp for my sawn-off Tommy gun. All you really need to know is that the government asserted that it was Congress's right to impose a tax on that stuff, and so it wasn't really a firearms registry. No, it's not a registry. It's just a compiled list of all the people who submitted for the registration for their NFA items for the tax stamp. Yeah, no, it's not a registry. No. To get back on track, PSA decided to file this lawsuit following the One Big Beautiful Bill Act being enacted. Now, I'm gonna be honest here, there is a ton of garbage in that bill and some good stuff. So I'm not gonna say that the bill as a whole was amazing. So everyone calm down in the comments, please, for the love of God, I can't wait. But we did get a nice little treat out of the mixed bag of fecal matter. That being section 70436 titled Reduction of Transfer and Manufacturing Taxes for Certain Devices, which outlines the reduction of the NFA tax from $200 down to $0 for anything that's not a machine gun or a destructive device. Now, they still want a $200 tax stamp for those two, but at this point, with how the world is going, I need the small win. I need it. Which ultimately means that SBRs and suppressors are a $0 tax. So with the tax being reduced from $200 to $0, you might be asking yourself, well, Mr. 60 guy, how is a tax when no monies is to be taken? And the answer is, it's not a tax, and thereby only a registry. So on July 7th, 2025, PSA dropped this little guy on the old YouTube space. And in this video, PSA states that they have filed a lawsuit along with all of these peeps right here in order to start the fall of the garbage NFA en masse. Their lawsuit is predicated off of US v. Constantine, where the opinions of the judges were that calling something a tax doesn't make it a tax just because you say it does, and that if a provision does not generate revenue, aka a tax, then it cannot be considered a tax at all. So again, because Congress asserted that they had the ability to collect a tax under Article 1, Section 8 of the US Constitution, they created said tax and made what is a non-registry registry. But now that the tax is $0, due to the legal precedent that says a $0 tax is not a tax, the NFA no longer has any legal standing. Now again, think what you want about PSA or the big, beautiful, voluptuous, succulent, superb bill, but this is a major win for the 2FA community. PSA states that they have filed the lawsuit with the District Court of Northern Texas, God bless brother, and that while they do have financial backing, this might cost upwards of $1 million to push through. So to help with that effort, they have created a stripped AR-15 lower in cooperation with Gun Owners of America that costs $60. PSA states that they are pledging 25 of those doll hairs, or what is the net profit of each lower, to go towards the lawsuit. I will say that the fire selector is kind of cringy with the text here, but I mean, personally, I'm probably going to get one of these lowers myself. It's going towards a decent enough cause, and heck, I could use another lower anyway. And speaking of good causes, for those of you who haven't heard, in Texas, the city of Kerrville and the rest of the Texas Hill Country was hit by a swath of flooding over the 4th of July weekend. They are currently working on disaster recovery, and there is a fund which, if you are wanting and willing, please donate using that link in the description down below. Thank you and God bless. Anyways, we're taking bets as to how long this is going to take to actually push through. Comment down below what year you think this will happen. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And as always, remember our sole objectives: stop the killing, stop the dying. I'll see y'all later.